Okay, let's assume that you have by mistake set this as your home page. I would argue that this is probably not the home page that you want to use, and you'd be better off, say, using this lovely home page that I set up for you instead as your home page. And you want to get rid of that other one. Isn't this much nicer? Picture of your daughter's wedding and lots of other good stuff. This is a short tutorial on how to set your home page and a couple of things about your home page that you may or may not have known. Okay, so first, how to set it. First thing you need to have is to make sure this toolbar, I'm assuming you're using Internet Explorer because that's kind of the default, that this little bar is showing so that your home button is showing. And if it's not, you can go up here to View, Toolbars, and make sure that this command bar thing is checked. If it's not, it won't work. Okay, so now you come up here and click on the down arrow next to Home and select, because you don't want that ugly picture from my SmugMug site, to add or change your home page. And I would suggest that you use this as your only home page because it's wonderful. And you say yes, and now, should you find yourself to have scrolled to this lovely page, then you can instead go to your own home page by coming up to the top here and clicking on Home. And now you come back. Every time you come to your home page, it's going to bring up a different picture, one of about 40 pictures I have. And I have this shrunken down so that you can, so I can see everybody. And the page is still loading, and it's also zoomed in a little bit. Let me zoom out to full level. And now we'll talk to you a little bit about your home page. Again, there's a picture, my lovely wife, my lovely sister-in-law, and your mother and grandmother, of course. Up here in the corner, we have the official U.S. time. This is taken from a little application from the National Institute of Standards and Time. That's how far off it is because it takes time to go over the internet. So this is basically always the right time. And by the way, you could set for Eastern Daylight Savings Time, but you can kind of use this as a global clock if you want to check times in various places. But I don't know why you'd want anything but Eastern. Okay, what else do we have on here? Well, I got a bunch of links for you. Internet Movie Database. You can find out anything about anyone, what they played in. Local patch news you might not be familiar with. Here's the patch. The patch is a little application that usually has lots of local stuff, local police reports, things going on in your area. I don't know what Conversations is. Weekender might show what's going on in your area, one would hope. There's the flower show at the convention center. And again, this is catch as catch can. It's not always the greatest little thing, but I usually like the police reports there, and sometimes I find out about things going on in the area. I picked the one here that's closest to you. Okay, going back to the home page again, I got a bunch of podcasts along the bottom here. These are ones I picked out for my mother and her favorites of mine. But if you want to change any of them, let me know and I will change them. There's your Yahoo email. It should help you log into that. Weather and Ambler. This is the best weather site. The National Weather Service. They don't lie to you like the TV stations do. So, and it's set for Ambler. Betty Crocker, of course. Pennsylvania traffic maps. This is kind of neat when it works. This is all the different maps in the area. Here what you do is you kind of zoom down. You pick your region, which for us is the greater Philadelphia region. And then you come up here and where's the cameras? You click on cameras, which is kind of neat. This is kind of showing you the traffic on the screen. But then if we go up to Ambler, and click on a camera, and you see the live camera for 309 at Susquehanna Road. This is northbound, and it updates every couple of seconds. So again, kind of neat. If you're going out the door and wondering if the turnpike or something is backed up, it could be useful. What else do we have here? A little conversions thing. Most of this is for engineers and you won't care about it. But if volume is something you might use, because this lets you convert so many tablespoons or cups of things. You just click on it and it puts up 1 cup there, and it tells you that's equal to 48 teaspoons or 16 tablespoons. And if your recipe calls for 2 cups, just put a little 2 up there, and now it says 2 cups, and it says it's 96 teaspoons or 32 tablespoons. Again, not something you use all the time, but you might find it useful from time to time. Here's a little scientific calculator. Real simple. I don't think you'll do much square rooting, but you might multiply a couple of numbers, and it just gives you a little calculator online. This is the What's Happening Today in History app, which I like. Basically picks a bunch of famous people and when they were born, that were, if they were born on this date. I guess it's Ruth Bader Ginsburg's birthday today. My Fair Lady open. If you want to look at some more events, click on More, and you find out that, of course, it's the Ides of March, so Julius Caesar was assassinated today. It's also the date of the death of Attila the Hun. Lots of good stuff here. Christopher Columbus returns from Spain. What other good things happened? Salvador Rosa, Italian artist, died at 58. And of course, as you go down through here, you find different events of interest that happened, people that were born. Judd Hirsch showed up on the first page. Jimmy Swaggart was born. So again, it's an app I like, not one you'll use every day, but one you might be just interested in what's going on. Last but not least, this will bring up a couple of radio links. The High Lit is kind of an internet radio station that plays lots of Philly stuff, a Broadway one. One of our favorite eclectic stations out of New York, WFUV. And if you got to have that news, my mother likes listening to the Philly accents on KYW. And last but not least, you can change your background. You get a random one every time this comes up. And just to show you that, if I click on refresh, what's refresh? That's this little icon up here, or hit F5. Boom, it'll refresh the page, and you'll get a different picture. This one of Mason and Celeste. I have the screen shrunk down. You might see more of the picture if you have it at full screen. Okay, last but not least, down here you can set 7 specific backgrounds. If you don't like the one that randomly popped up, you can instead pick See My Wedding, and now we're looking at the photos. And the young Mr. Colelli, of course. My wife with long hair. We'll never see that again. But that's a real brief overview. You can always bring up the home page by clicking there, and you'll get back to this, and you'll get a new picture each time. And let me know if you want me to change any of these links, if you have a podcast you like to listen to, or whatever. Here's a little thing on Google Translate if you need to translate something. And I put together a little tutorial there. What else? Oh, my photo site. You can go look at the great pictures of yourself and maybe recover that Judy picture that we had as the home page, but we've removed it. That's it. Hope you enjoyed it and hope this helps.